Hi everyone, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. And I was giving some thought to a recent video I did talking about these 3D cards called box cards, and they are called box cards because they fold flat for mailing and then they pop up with a structure like a box. And this particular one came from one of my most favorite designers. Her name is Lori Whitlock, and you've heard me speak of her a number of times, I'm sure. And she just is a fabulous designer. Now, some, but not all, some of her designs are available in Cricut Design Space. But today I want to show you how she sort of jumped off from this idea of a box card that has a zigzag interior. Remember we talked about that? She jumped off to keeping the box card idea and turning the box into something. In this case is a strawberry basket. But she's done it again with this adorable apron with the sweet utensils. And then she even went bigger with this one, which is I think it counts as a box because see, it's square. So into a large oversized spool of thread. And then this one here shaped again. Now you'll notice that the recurrent theme of these is that they can fold flat, fit into an envelope, and then when they open up through using this technology of these inserts and hinges on either side of the card, you have a 3D beauty. So if you'd like to see how I created these, please stay tuned. Really simple. Again, you just need to get the concept of how to make cards that move and then they can fold flat. So stay with me. We're going to talk about this. Isn't it beautiful? This is one of my favorite of all, and literally hundreds and hundreds of cards, and I only showed you half a dozen. But she has just an enormous amount of box cards that you're going to want to have a look at once we're done putting this together. So today we're going to be assembling this box card. This is a card, as I mentioned, it's a card from one of my favorite designers, Lori Whitlock. And we did her, not just a couple days ago, we did her box card that is available in Cricut Design Space. And it's really adorable, of course. But you know, I just love to gild the lily. I just love it. I love to, you know, that's an old saying, but it's so appropriate. I love to just put the cherry on top of things because that's really what makes it special. You know, everybody can buy a file, everybody can assemble the file, but everybody's going to do it differently. And so you need to take the time when you're doing these to think about how can I put my little personal spin on things. And I have done that on this because the file that I purchased from Lori Whitlock, and her URL is shop.loriwhitlock.com, and I'll put that in the details section as well. But I bought this SVG. I purchased it. I uploaded it to my Cricut Design Space software, and then I took all of the files, and in this case it was just one whole file, and I brought it into Design Space. And with a few alterations, for example, if I wanted to, I could instead of doing, I'm going to show you if you can, I don't know if you can even see, but Lori and the other designers, they are unable to program their file using the Cricut stylus, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to, you can't replace that part of their design with the Cricut stylus. It's called solid score lines. The other thing that Lori does often is she gives you this space where you can do your own sentiment. And for me, this is from one of my favorite, all-time favorite musicals. Do you know which one it is? I Love You, A Bushel and a Peck. This song comes from Guys and Dolls, and I just love that. I love that. So that's what I've done. I've gone ahead and personalized this and put it together the way that she intended, but with my own little flair. Let me show you how that's done. Okay, first I mentioned, you'll get the file and you'll upload the file. You might have to unzip it. It really does depend on your individual computer. But it will print off, or cut off, I should say. It doesn't print. Cuts into several colors with score lines. And you'll see that there are score lines, you see, and the way, I don't know if I can even show it to you. I'm going to get real close so maybe you can see. But the way that Lori does her score lines is by putting these dots, these dashes, and it's very simple. You just fold it over at the dashes, and there you've got your score. And you do the same here on the scores here as well. So once you upload the file, once you cut it out and you choose your paper, and you can decide, maybe you'll come back and do a sentiment, maybe you'll do it at first, that's okay. But the next thing that you're going to want to do, and I do recommend that you do this part next, and that is you're going to take your pieces, kind of get them all arranged, and decorate this. This is I call it insert piece. And usually with Lori's files, there are, for box cards, there are 3, and you can see here, she numbers them 2 and 3. So she's telling you where you should put those inserts. I'm going to show you that in a second. But then what I'm saying is go ahead and decorate this whole thing before you assemble the card, okay? Because it just makes it a whole lot easier in the end. Same with the basket. The basket has all these adorable scallop edges that are also covered, so to make it look more realistic, and then you're bending them all at the score lines. And to assemble the box, you take this tab, glue it this way, and then voila, there's your box. So that is, I think, the first step. Put all the stuff on. After you cut it out, put all the stuff on, bend and fold all of those score lines. Then what you'll end up with is this. All right, you'll end up with this box. And I've actually gone ahead and put in the first of the inserts. See how it lays flat against the front of the inside front of the box? Okay. Then I take this part, which is the number 2 part, and I put my glue onto the flap. And you do have to make sure you fold those flaps at the precise space, okay? And then I always kind of push the tabs in, and then I put the insert inside of the box. Now you want to make sure that it's in the precise place. So you do that, believe it or not, by, once you put that glue on, by folding it and then unfolding it, turn it the other way, just to kind of make sure, is that in the precise spot. Now actually, this one isn't precisely where I want it to be. I want it to be, it's number 2, so I want it to be in the middle, so I can, kind of manipulate it. And that's what I like about glue. But liquid glue is you still have time before it really sets to manipulate it for placement. And I'm going to show you how you put on the third and final one, and I tend to do it right away, and I'll show you why. But it goes in the same way the second one does, but in this case, the flaps, which are facing in the back, go straight up against that corner. And this is what I do. Once I put that second piece in, I make sure it's straight up in that corner, and then I make sure, I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, so it's going right in front of where, see that? Right? So that they're actually, they're balancing themselves, you see? This one's actually a little bit crooked. Okay, and then do be sure to close it and open it a couple of times so that you know you've got that placement and it's going to be able to be mailed. And then, of course, you come back with your little saying, and this is why I said maybe do this after. Maybe you'll get inspired after you create the card. And then I did these little pop dots, and we put them on the front of the bag. I considered putting it here, but I decided to put it down here at the front of the basket. So isn't this a beautiful card? You know, I think about people who do card ministries, which is just such a wonderful project. I see it happen all the time with people from my generation, that a card really means a lot. And the few extra minutes that you spend, you know, giving it a personal touch, giving it a real, you know, it looks like you took the time. This is not a made in China, you know, by factory workers or by some sort of machinery. This is personal. This is beauty. And this is something people will indeed remember for years to come. And I know that from personal experience. So that's it. Wasn't it simple? Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to give you a link to Lori's shop in my description. So if you look there, you will see, and you can see the literally hundreds of cards that she has that are off of this idea, or off of the basic idea of a box card. Isn't that lovely? Oh my gosh, wasn't that fun? I know that I really enjoy putting together Lori's box cards. She's so, her designs are clean and they're simple, and they're just so precious. Cute. I don't know if that's a good word anymore, but I like to use it. Cute. And you can even personalize it like I talked about. You can even personalize it with your own message. That's the great thing about Lori's files. They're easy to make them your own. So thanks for coming by today. My name is Rita, and I run this website, this YouTube channel, Miss Rita to the Rescue. And I'm so glad that you decided to stay. And I hope that you would consider, if you're not already a subscriber, consider becoming a subscriber. I am happy to report that in less than 2 weeks, we have gone from hitting what I would consider a really high amount of 100 subscribers to 350. I mean, that in less than 2 weeks. So we more than doubled. What? Crazy. More than doubled the subscribers. So thank you for having the faith in me to be a subscriber. If you are hooked on all these wonderful projects that I do, please share my channel and give me those thumbs up. They do count them. I don't know why, but apparently I'm supposed to tell you to do the thumbs up. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.